Good morning, everybody. How are you? This is Renee here. And today I'm going live in two platforms. For the people that is in Instagram, I'm getting live on the Instagram, but I would recommend you to jump into the private Facebook group, Yoga for Aerial Acrobats, because I'm teaching every Sunday morning yoga tips, yoga tutorials to help you to keep your body flexible and strong while practicing at home. Now, everything that I said here is specifically for the people that practice aerial silks, hook, trapeze, or pole dance. However, it's also for you if you want to keep your body flexible and strong and you're really curious about how you can get into your flexibility in an efficient way and in a safe way. So the topic for today is one that I get asked a lot about our straddle splits or middle splits, or how you guys say it in English, pancakes. So what are the most common mistakes that people does usually we try to get there and you don't see any results, or it can take you to potential injuries? First of all, the most common mistake is when people don't do proper warm-ups before getting into a deep stretch, because stretching is not relaxing. People have this association like yoga is stretching and stretching is relaxing, and it's not always like that. Yes, when we get into working our flexibility, we need to, as the word say, work on it. When we want to relax, then we chill and relax. So first mistake is not doing proper warm-ups before getting into your deep elongations, flexibility work, or stretching, whatever you want to call it. And the second one, it is that we get into only passive stretchings and we are not engaging all the muscles that are around holding our hips. In this case, because I'm talking about our middle splits, our straddle splits, we need to be aware of all the muscles that are around our hips, holding our hips. So in any position that we're holding for a long time, it's going to be one muscle that's going to be the protagonist, the one that is acting more, and one muscle that's going to be the antagonist, the one that is working less. But it's still, let's say, it's the friends that are working around them, so we can get into an efficient flexibility move. Okay, so let's go with it. Let's start doing just one quick warm-up. So this is a super easy way that you can warm up your body before getting into your stretch. Hips, I'm talking about hips today, okay? And it's the hips rolls, yeah, the hip circles that you can do a sitting, as we did in other videos inside of the private Facebook group. So if you're sitting, you're looking to do your hip circles. Remember that your core should be engaged and all the muscles around of your spine should be engaged. So just doing like this, hip circles, is a great way to warm up your hips before getting into any stretch. What happens when people get really uncomfortable by sitting in this position? The solution is sitting in a higher level and do the same thing. How all the way you can do an easy warm up for your hips. The same hip circles from your table pose. And I also have shown this in other videos, in other classes, inside of the private Facebook group and inside of my online classes. All right, so that is another tip, super easy to warm up your hips. And you can do the same thing, lying on your back. And I always teach this one because I love doing that as the first thing, maybe in the morning, to kind of wake up your body. You start with your hip circles, knee bends. As I'm saying to you, this is to warm up. And you can do it both ways. Okay. Now, let's rock it back and forth to sit. Let's do a few rockings. And when you get to be here sitting, I would recommend to use the block But if you don't have a block, use anything that help you to elevate your feet. So I'm here, I can use the couch, or you can use also any books with a hardcover. Yeah. So if you're getting into a straddle, once you have a good warm-up in your hips, make sure you have a good warm-up in your hips. We're looking to this forward fold, right? What happened there? A lot of people that don't have the flexibility yet get with the spine rounded, and you're carrying more about reaching further forward instead of reaching from the bottom of your head, from the bottom of your lower back, forward. The first thing that you have to do is be aware of engaging the muscles around your glutes, hips, inside part of your hips, and start inching forward. Maybe where you're going to get is just this. If you don't feel your body quite warm up, if you feel your body stiff, or sometimes just because your body is not that flexible yet. And that's fine, you just need to be really patient. Try to work it in a proper way instead of rushing up. So I will recommend you to be aware of how is your hip and your lower back, and think that you want to bring your belly first down. Even if you won't touch your mat yet, that's why you can use a block or something to place it in front of you, and have the intention that you want to press with your belly forward and down. Yeah, I would recommend to keep your quadriceps super active. And a lot of people care about pointing your toes. Yes, that's right, point your toes, but you also can flex them. Why I ask a lot of my classes flex your feet, mainly in this position, because I think it is easier for you to realize if your toes are pointing up to the roof, then you're trying to push yourself to keep a nice rotation on your hips. The rotation means that your hips will try to open as you inch forward. And this won't be easy for a lot of people because you might not have this rotation. Yeah, and remember, as you grow older, flexibility is one of those things that we get worse and worse, at least that you're actually working on it. Yeah, so tip, point your toes, think that you want to press with your heels down, squeeze the glutes, super important here, and try to inch forward, like you want to bring your belly down. And maybe this is how far you're going to go. And that's okay. Inhale and exhale. You will feel that your bum is getting tired if you're working it properly. And that means that your stretching is active. They're activating the muscles around your hips, the muscles that you need to get in a proper straddle split. Then when you're working and pointing your toes because you want to look pretty, because you're doing your aerial routine, yeah, do it, of course. I always say, like, explore your movements and do it in any ways that your body moves. So you can hold it like 10 deep breathings, because remember, you don't want to hold your breath here. You want to give oxygen to your muscles. And then you see if you can place it lower, right? You can place your block lower and still have that intention of pressing with your belly down, squeezing with the glutes. So if you like, this will be no squeezing, see? I'm doing like a back bending. That's another mistake that people does. It's kind of allowing your body just to completely relax into the stretch. And remember, your body is always going to try to cheat and compensate for something that is missing, for some strength or some flexibility. So instead of allowing your bum to be super relaxed, squeeze it, squeeze the glutes. Yeah, try to open the hips, point your toes, heels down, and inch forward. You also can place a few pillows, right? Be creative. I'm pretty sure you have a bunch of stuff at home that you can work on. And once you hold it like 10 more deep breathings, you see if you can go any lower. Think that you want to reach this part down first, and then the rest of your body. Don't try to go farther forward and then suddenly you forget what's going on in your back. Because a lot of the teachers that I see, I always put in this position as don't do that, it's wrong. Yes, it's wrong, but maybe you're doing it because your body is not that flexible yet. So as long as you are aware of and how you can correct it, put that intention and see if you can go any lower. I'm still squeezing my glutes while I'm talking to you, so my bum is quite tired now. Take a deep breathing, inhale and exhale. So you can count 10 breathings here. And if you want to work it deeper in how you can get this area, glutes, adductors, core stronger, think that your heels want to press down and lift and lower and lift and lower. Use the block and lower. 3, 2, 1. Take a break. Bring your legs in the front and move them slowly, right? Because if you're quite tired, just move them slowly. So that's for our straddle split that I wanted to give you some tips today to work at home. And I want to add a yoga position that's going to help you also to get there. And it's known as the Pada Konasana 8. And it's also known in gymnastics as the typical one that you bring your feet together and you leave your knees apart, and maybe you use this for your warm-ups, the famous butterflies, right? Which is absolutely fine. It's good. So from the yoga pose, what we aim to do is think that you want to open the soles of your feet, like if there are books that you want to read into. What else you check on here? You want to bring your knees down, even if that happened or it doesn't happen yet. And why is that? Because when you're trying to bring your knees down, you're going to notice how you need to squeeze the glute, to try to pull your knees down. So what I suggest is open your book, heels really, really close to your pelvis for this one. You can use your forearms or your elbows to push down, but at the same time as you inch forward and you squeeze the glutes to aim to bring your knees down, see? So when you're here and you're activating all those muscles, it's not that easy. It's not just a stretch. So I'm going to show you from this side, from this side. Again, you try to bring your lower back first, core first. So if I'm doing it properly, this pose, this is really how far I can get. I can get farther forward, but my spine is still going rounded. And then, yes, I can lower myself a lot. That will be another pose, but it won't accomplish the purpose of this opening the hips, squeezing and activating the glutes to get into nice and clean straddle splits. Okay, one last tip. What's going on if when you're trying to get here, this is how far your legs are going? That happen? Option, sit in something higher. Because your hips are going to absolutely relax. Give the time to your legs to relax. Option 2, sit in something higher and place the blocks under your knees. So you have the reference to what are you pushing to down if your knees don't touch the mat yet, okay? So put something that will be your reference already that you're pushing it down and you're squeezing it down as you're trying to inch forward. And if you put like consistency in your practice, if you put intention in your practice, you will get better. Remember, this is not magic. It's not going to happen from one day to another. You need to keep the consistency in your practice. So for the people that is on the Instagram social media and you want to get really good in your straddle splits, I'm having a free class in the link in my bio, Sanya Sada Yoga, that is about straddle splits. I believe so that most of the people in the group already have done the class, but if you haven't, I'm gonna leave the link inside of the group as well. And it's a free yoga class to practice at home to improve your straddle splits. I also would like to let you know that in the process of building a whole online program with conditioning moves, conditioning classes, specifically in each area of our body to improve and practice at home. So also if you're interested in something like that and you're not yet in my email list, or you're not sure if you're in my email list because, I don't know, you don't know if you're not getting my emails, my name is Renee, most likely you're not in. So send me a message with your email and I will let you know when all that is getting ready to present and to give to you to practice and stay flexible, strong, and mobile at home. Okay, that's all for today. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, wherever you are. And if you're practicing your straddle splits, if you're doing any of these position tips and you're posting your photos, tell me so I can see how your practice is going. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So I think you guys were a little bit asleep today, or you guys were scared about practicing your straddle splits. Either or, remember to keep your practice going, keep the motivation going. And as I was saying before, with the online conditioning training that I'm working on, I'm going to give, of course, priority to the people that is here in the group to give it a try and give me your feedback. So if you haven't provided your email already to me and you want to stay in touch, send me a private message and I will add you to my email list. Have a great day. Bye-bye.